Dear ICF members, I greet you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, and it is an honor and joy to bring to you the love of the members of the Armenian congregational churches in Syria. And also it is an honor to be part of the ICF online conference. The Armenian congregationalism started in the heart of the Armenian nation in the year 1846 in Constantinople, in Istanbul. The Armenian Evangelical Church was born as a Reformation movement, and there are many factors which led to the establishment of this church. Some of these factors are the establishment of the Bible societies and the activities of the missionary movements and the spread of Bibles among ordinary people. Secondly, the relative freedom to establish schools, publish magazines, and have access to the Western Renaissance ideas. Thirdly, the reopening in 1828 of Constantinople's Patriarchal School to prepare clergymen for the Mother Church. These factors prepared the way for the Armenian Congregational Church to be born. So on July 1, 1846, the first Armenian Congregational Church was founded in Constantinople by 40 people, 3 women and 37 men. The history of the Armenian Congregational Church can be divided into 4 definite eras. A, 1846 to 1895, this is the period of the establishment and the advancement of the Armenian Evangelical Church. B, 1895 to 1922, this is the period of dark years due to the Armenian massacre organized by the Ottoman Empire. And C, 1922 to 1946, this is the period of transition. And D, 1947 onwards, this is the period of reorganizing the Armenian Congregational Church and the establishments of the church in the diaspora. After 1922, the Armenian evangelical churches began to be established in Lebanon, in Syria, and in Greece. Since then, the Armenian Congregational Church actively played a pivotal role in the life of the Armenian nation in the Middle East. I admit that speaking about war and war situation in Syria is not an easy job. In fact, I was here in Syria, in Aleppo, for the last 10 years as the war was trying to attack all the Syrian people. So many people, they have lost their relatives, their dear ones. So many families, they have lost their children, their parents. And many churches were destructed. Many schools were destroyed. Many people that they were displaced from one city to the other, and many refugees, they fled out of Syria. Unfortunately, today we are left with more than 3.5 million children out of schooling system. We have left with 500,000 refugees around Syria that they are trying to find refuge in some places. And more than 10 million of Syrian people that they were left out of Syria, under tents, and in different countries trying to find some place to live. And all this destruction in the country is heartbreaking. And overall, the US multi-layer sanctions presented people to have no access to many basic needs for daily living. Sanctions have caused dire humanitarian consequences for Syrian citizens. And over all this, the oil also is stolen from Syria. Our fields are burned by drones that destroy what our daily bread should be. Most countries have stopped giving us food and medication, and the Syrian people are nowadays suffering from hunger. There is no electricity in Syria, there is no water, and the transportation and the safety security issues still persist. This is the situation that we are undergoing nowadays, unfortunately, and the political turmoil also anticipating some sort of a reform, but still a way to go. Over 10 years of conflict and displacement have taken a severe toll on the families across Syria. The inflation combined with loss of livelihoods and depletion of financial resources have made our youth especially vulnerable, with many forced to work to support their families. It was necessary to empower people to change their own future by protecting them from the effects of war, promoting psychological support, and stimulating education, enabling them to strengthen their self-confidence and to build positive relationships with their peers, family, and wider community. In the humanitarian section, we have tried to distribute food parcels, shopping coupons, clothes, hygiene kits for more than 800 families around our churches. In the educational domain, we have tried to reach out to more than 800 students in our 6 Armenian congregational schools in Syria. And in that matter, also, we have distributed stationery kits and school handbags to marginalized students as needed. Financial assistance was given to Armenian university students. Healthcare domain is another aspect of our ministry. When the war was very much intense in Aleppo, especially in our surrounding, we have seen so many destruction and so many victimized people, as well as so many injuries. And unfortunately, those years, Aleppo was lacking hospitals and doctors. And we had the vision to establish a polyclinic where can be a mobile assistance for all the needy and the injured people. Nowadays, the clinic operates in 26 experienced and highly qualified health team members in 13 different specialties. As far as the developmental projects are concerned, we have supported and initiated vocational training programs, and this program helps the youth to reach their full potential and increase their employability. It also enhances the livelihood conditions of vulnerable people through vocational training activities. We have initiated also business startup trainings, a small enterprise for needy families to finance their small businesses in order to improve their financial situation. In response to COVID-19 outbreak, the Armenian evangelical churches initiated immediate action plan to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The Social Action Committee organized awareness lectures on fighting against coronavirus for Bethel School students, as well as the junior and the youth groups in the Armenian congregational churches in Syria. We have also initiated a campaign to disinfect the neighborhood, our churches, our schools, and some households in different neighborhoods in regards to also taking a preventive measures against coronavirus. We have raised readiness and precautionary measures to eliminate the anxiety, the panic, and worry in the community and protect the vulnerable against the virus through strict measures by providing antiseptic, disinfectant, sanitizers to also vulnerable families in Aleppo. We distributed face masks and gloves as well as bread to individuals and families to eliminate the intense crowds in front of the bakeries. Dear ICF members, it is always joy to share with you all the challenges that we are facing in the midst of the turmoil in Syria. We are very much grateful to ICF members, to Dr. Janet Wooten, to Reverend Chris Gilham, and other friends, other brothers and sisters who constantly kept our churches, our people, and the worries and the concerns of our congregations in their prayers. May God bless you all, and may God continue to bless our Armenian congregational churches in Syria as they continue to be light and salt in the community at large.